And when he get to question you, gaslight him. Like, so you really think this not your baby?
Your Honor, how could you tell me I don't deserve something when I stood my ground?
You wasn't there.
You denied me a DNA test twice.
That I believe that DNA tests should be mandatory at the time of birth. But then the man gets the 100% security of knowing that the person that he is about to be financially responsible for actually belongs to his genetic pool.
You know that that's your kid. I will never give you a DNA test. That's not going to happen.
He has every right to check, every right to double check.
I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father.
Wish we could choose our baby father.
Cheating on y'all boyfriend and y'all get pregnant, why do y'all tell on yourselves? Just let your boyfriend be the baby daddy. Just let it be what it is. You don't have to tell him nothing. And when he get to question you, gaslight him. Like, so you really think this not your baby? And if you have to, even threaten him. Say, if we gotta do that DNA test, my baby not getting your last name. Dudes love for their kids have their last name. Like, they take so much pride in it. They act like it's the most important thing in the world. But telling on yourself is a no. And I know some people are like, oh, well, your child deserves to know who their biological parent is. Do what's best for your child. Some people don't have a daddy in their life at all, and it's their real daddy. It's about the man who stepped up to be daddy. Being a dad is way more than being blood related. But y'all don't want to listen. Y'all just want to get on here crying on the internet because y'all chose the wrong baby daddy. Y'all want to talk about how this dude a deadbeat, but he was never in a relationship with you anyway. So did you really think that he cared about you? You really think that he would care about a child that came out of you? Look, y'all ain't got to take my advice, but ask yourself, would he be honest with you? If he went and made another baby with somebody else, would he tell you? Or he gonna let you find out on your own?
Wow. She just told women how to finagle men's hearts and minds, because that's what it's doing when he eventually finds out that's not his kid. And what are you thinking? But take a look at the comments. Look what these guys said and what he's saying. I guess it will make sense, but the comment after made more sense. Check it out. CIA really pitting in overtime. We know who's the main employee too. The gender wars, man versus bear, they let that bear, college convo, etc. Take a look at what the next brother said. He said, not really. CIA been on vacation while our women do the work for them. That's exactly what's happening, right? They're doing the work for them. Now they've done, I'll keep it real. The CIA or FBI, whatever you want to call it, with bringing in government funding, that started it, right? But they planted different agents, like, for instance, the Sukianas, the Sexy Reds. They implanted them in the system, right? And they've been doing it for so many years that the minds are brainwashed. They did a good job. They don't have to put in overtime no more. The mindset has already been created. Let's go.
Last name. He don't deserve it.
Your
He
Honor,
don't deserve
I
it.
was there for my other two children by her. I even raised her other daughter, Your Honor. How could you tell me I don't deserve something when I stood my
You
ground?
wasn't there. How you deserve her? How she deserve your last
Did I
name?
not call for a DNA test, Miss Beckley? You denied me a DNA test twice.
Okay.
Twice. And now you telling me I don't deserve it? I have children, and all of them have my last name. Like I said, I didn't have my biological father. He was murdered the year that I was born. So it will be a shame not for me to be there for my children. And 7 kids, as hard as I go for my babies, you provide for your children.
Passionate. This is how men feel. So pitting a baby on a man and it's not their child hurts to the core. And you ladies need to see the lasting effects, because it happens to people that are famous, to people you would never expect. But come on now, I expect everything under the sun. It's been happening for so long. Like this lady just now saying this on TikTok. It's not new. This has been happening for the longest time.
Gentlemen. Enter. I'm Rick Hubbard.
Hey, my name's Kirk. Still don't know the outcome of this testing because I didn't feel like that was for me to know. You were the most important person in this equation in figuring out your history. Sorry, man. It's not your fault. You didn't know.
Whose fault is that? Women.
This here, as I said, has been happening for the longest, and when will it stop? This is why men jump on planes and go. I'm not saying this can't happen in other countries, but it's least likely to happen. That's why guys are searching elsewhere, right? Because you never know. And I'm not saying that this is a US problem, because if you don't know what's going on, or not even that, no matter where you go, get that test. Because it can happen in Thailand, the Philippines, least likely, but anywhere is possible.
My friend John just posted a video, and it was not just posted. He posted a video a couple whiles back talking about how men can get DNA tests off of Amazon to test their children. They don't even have to tell the baby moms. He mentioned that in the comments there was reactions from women. Most of the reactions I saw was, "Why would you go and do that? You don't trust me," type. And the other ones weren't really rational arguments. They were just kind of hooping and hollering in the comments. I've said this a million times over the course of my social media platforms that I believe that DNA tests should be mandatory at the time of birth. Because if it's mandatory, then the women's feelings don't get hurt about "man don't trust me," but then the man gets the 100% security of knowing that the person that he is about to be financially responsible for actually belongs to his genetic pool. You feel what I'm saying? And I caught a backlash on that one. But I think the bigger thing that people are escaping to remember here, if you are one of those women in the comments hollering about somebody DNA testing your kid, that gives me the belief that you are hiding something. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the truth, because if you take it to the fact that you're not hiding anything, but you're like, well, he doesn't trust me, put it this way. If the roles were reversed and the man was the one producing the child, right? And you guys, could be the mom, maybe not be the mom, you would want that 100% certainty. It's not that far-fetched of an idea. Anywho, as I said, I will stand 10 toes down on it. At the time of birth, it should be required. DNA testing, paternity testing should be required at the time of birth. Solves a lot of problems down the line. Have a day.
This should be, and that's in all states, because I know they're doing it in Ohio in 2026, January. That's good. It's going to happen in Ohio. But I think this should happen all states across the board. I think it should happen in every country. I do know they're doing it in some African countries, but this needs to happen everywhere. Like in France, it's outlawed. Crazy. Like a man knowing if he's the father is outlawed. And that's not right. Like, you have to understand what happens, right? The way things are nowadays, feminism being at play, it's taught ladies to be irresponsible. And being irresponsible, a lot of times when you sleep with random guys, That's why it's not good for ladies to do it. At least if a man does it, he know he's the father a lot of the times. But if a lady's sleeping with random men, how is she gonna know? Some of these ladies are saying, just like this lady said in the first video, sleep with the guy. Everybody knows it. Sleep with the guy that's no good. Blame it on the good guy. Always. And who are those good guys? Most likely you, brother. You watching right now. Be careful.
Test. You know that that's your kid. I will never give you a DNA test. That's not going to happen.
No.
Because I know of course not.
But if he's asking for it,
I will not go it. I did my research. I will never ever give him a DNA test. You will need to take me to court.
He's the AH, getting a paternity test on his son who doesn't look anything like him, in his opinion. So this 29-year-old white man is married to a 30-year-old black woman, and they have 2 kids together, a 3-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy. His wife got pregnant with their son quite early on into their relationship. They'd only been together a year at that point, and they got married because she got pregnant. Fortunately for them, they are actually happily married. So when his son was born, he accepted his son as his. However, he couldn't help but notice how little his son looked like him. He says that he's noticeably darker than his wife and that he doesn't look mixed race. His family and his friends have asked him whether his son is his. And although he has had doubts, he decided to trust his wife. And he's loved his son regardless. Now, when his son was 2, his wife had their daughter, and he had no doubt that she was his. She looks just like him. She even has his blue eyes. He said he never realized how powerful it is to know that a child is yours. And he bonded easier with his daughter because there wasn't a question in his mind about the paternity. His family also bonded faster with his daughter too. Now, here's where it gets a bit tricky. He says that his daughter's resemblance to him has convinced him that his son is not his. He tried to always treat them equally as he sees them both as his children, but he realized that he was beginning to resent his son, and it felt unfair that he had to care for someone else's child. He also began to resent his wife because he felt like she had betrayed him. So he finally got a paternity test done in secret, behind his wife's back. And he was relieved to find out that his son is actually his son. Genetics are weird, he says. Anyways, that was 4 months ago, and his relationship with his wife and his son has improved dramatically. He says that he feels so much closer to him now that he knows that he's his. His wife and him have been so happy that they've even talked about having a 3rd child together. However, he did confess to his wife about the paternity test that he did. He says he hated keeping the secret from her. He thought she would understand given how much he doesn't look like him. However, his wife flipped out. She asked him if he ever doubted his daughter, and when he said no, she called him an R. However, he says it's not true. He didn't prefer his daughter because of her whiter features. He says he just knew that she was his. She also told him that he made his son feel unloved for no reason at all for all of those years. He said that's bull. Even when he didn't believe his son was his, he treated him as though he was. His wife is now saying that she wants to move out and take the children with her after quarantine. This happened during COVID. It's been about a week and a half and he's still sleeping on the sofa. He had hoped that she would have calmed down by now, but things haven't changed. She's just so furious with him for not trusting her, and for, in her eyes, denying their son because he's darker. He's barely talking to him now unless it's about the kids. He says that he doesn't want to lose his family, and he's wondering, is it so awful that he had doubts? Because he still took care of his son, and he just doesn't understand why something like this is wrecking his marriage. He thinks his wife is overreacting. So, is he the AH? There is an update to this, and I will be back with an update shortly, if there's enough interest in this.
I don't think he's the AH. I think she's the AH, right? Because you know he doesn't. To avoid these things from happening, make it mandatory everywhere. Like, what do you think? This man I saw the stories. If you go on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, you see this. It's a nightmare. It's happening in courts. It's happening, as you see the lady said, blame it on the guy that's responsible. He just got with her. He probably knows about this. These videos are online. Men see these things. What do you think he's going to be thinking? I just got with this girl. I don't trust her for nothing, especially if he's responsible. That's how I'll be thinking. I'll tell you why. My son, he's 16 years old. I take care of him. I haven't been around like that, but I speak to him all the time. And also, I never miss payments, right? It's been what, 16 years? Never missed him. I'm actually coaching him to get ready to have his own career because pretty soon he's going to be an adult. I'm going through the pains with him right now, those growing pains. So, of course, I will be the same way. Like, wait a minute. No, I want to know if that's mine, just like any man.
Husband doesn't know that. What? Being your husband, he will have the responsibility to take care of your child, even if he is aware that he is not the dad? Nobody can question you, and the law is there to support you.
Delusional.
What law? Okay, maybe it'll make sense if I read the whole thing. As a precaution, frame some false case against your husband so that if he plans to move legally, you can counter it with this. Contact any female lawyer and make sure she is a feminist so that she can help you more sincerely. If he acts more smart, then go for a divorce and claim good alimony and maintenance so that he can't marry again with his financial capability. Being a feminist, I wish you all success for your fight against the men. What? This is a joke, right?
No, it's not a joke. That was funny though, the way she was talking. She couldn't believe it. Just like men can't believe it. No, we believe it now. We believe it. Ladies have been taken, and this is in India. Indian feminists. They all know the game now. They all know how to take advantage. What do? Right? Like I saw a guy saying, yeah, the cop just came. She got me put out of my house. She hit me for child support. I bet you that man didn't check to make sure it was his kids. Probably not even his kids. Yes, a lot of wives do this to their husbands. It's sad, man, what's going on. I think it's about time all governments help men out. Seriously, men need to know. Men don't have control. The ladies do. Give us our control back. Well, we never really had it. We did somewhat, but as I said in one of my past videos, they want 1950s treatment with 2025 freedom. Take a little bit of that freedom away.
Weird when a woman gets upset that a man is asking for a paternity test. They be saying, oh, you really think that I would do that? You really think that I'm sleeping with such and such and such and such? It's possible. Like, do you not know the day and age that we're living with? There have been multiple times on this app even where women were exposed for making another man take care of somebody else's child. That is lame. And even if that baby that's inside you does belong to the man, he has every right to check, every right to double check, because everybody is sleeping with everybody. That is the sad reality of the day and age that we're living in.
It's an evil world we live in.
So for you to get upset because a man wants to make sure that the person he's about to take care of for the next 18 years is actually his child just screams guilty to me. I don't know. It don't make it look like you're innocent, because if you knew for sure that that was his baby, why would getting the paternity test even be a problem? Quickly.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't think that, it's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
I personally pay taxes, and I care about where my money goes. I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father. That's not my business.
You can't make this up.
Handle your...
No. Not the girl with Little Kim pasties on saying men shouldn't know, go handle your business. I pay taxes. Look, that won't come off the government's money, right? If a man, because a lot of times either say if they're on Section 8, yeah, that will come out of that money, but they're working it out right now, right? To where ladies are not just going to be claiming Section 8 like that, or government benefits, or they're going to be limited to 2 years. That's going to make things much better, right? But not the one with pasties on, attracting men, saying men shouldn't know. This is the world we're living in nowadays. This is the ladies we're dealing with nowadays. This is sad. Seriously, I don't like seeing things like this. If I wish things were how they were in the 80s, 70s, but you know what? Even when I showed the video of Kirk Franklin, these problems been happening. They're just getting around to passing some laws in one state so far to fix these things. They're also passing laws in Africa to fix these things. It should be everywhere.
Your personal. And for me, I want to fund schools. I want to fund the MTA because the trains are never on time. We got bigger problems. We have bigger problems. I'm sorry. I'm not paying for no mandatory test.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you we don't care.
Let us understand why it's so selfish of you women who debate.
Lady said, I wish we could choose our baby fathers. I think this mindset and sentiment is so prevalent in our community, which is why the single mother rate is so high. And look at how many likes this got, 514. And this was posted months ago on Twitter, so it's no telling how many more likes that this received. But this is backwards thinking. So many women put the cart before the horse, and then they expect a different outcome. And as I've shared on my channel before, so many women are simply having sex and they're not really in a relationship. This is the only reason that stuff like this happens. Our community needs to do better, and we need to stop with the excuses.
Louder.
This is ridiculous and it's backwards. And I said what I said.
I might be for telling my ex I don't care if her daughter is crying about being left behind when my son's with me. I, 27 male, was with my ex for 4.5 years, 4.5 years. And we had our son 6 together. Son is 6 years. We broke up when he was 2 after I learned she cheated on me and the baby she was carrying might not be mine. When her daughter was born, we did a DNA test for both kids. My son was mine, but it was also confirmed her daughter was not mine.
The drama.
She doesn't know who her daughter's father is, and I was asked by her.
What?
And I was asked by her parents, and her sister to raise her as mine, so the kids would be brought up the same. I said no. We weren't married, so it wasn't like I was the assumed father. Things between us aren't good, and I don't play a role in her daughter's life. Exchanges are done quickly, and I don't engage when she tries to get me to interact with her daughter and ask me to consider including her. But lately, she has been upping her efforts to get me in her daughter's life. She even confronted me in public space and told me her daughter cries when her brother leaves, and that she wants to run up and hug me, but since she knows I won't be okay with that, she keeps her daughter away, but that kills her. She said her little girl didn't choose this, and she knows but she cries so much over me, and can't I see her as our son's sister and love her as my daughter for his sake, if not hers? I told her I don't care. I did not make her daughter, and I will not be responsible for raising her daughter. I told her to put the work into finding her daughter's father, that makes sense, and leave me alone.
You stayed with the girl. What do I mean? That shouldn't even be a scenario, right? I would have found out the kid is not mine. Okay, the son is mine. I'm leaving you. You got to be cold that way. I'm going to take care of the child, but I'm going to leave you. So it wouldn't be any argument. Oh, I want your daughter. Put your daughter on me. And to him, if you're gonna stay, right? I'm not saying for all guys to do this, but if you're gonna stay, you know she doesn't have a father. Treat the girl with some decency. If you're gonna stay with the mama, you might as well go all the way. Simp boy? Seriously, like you should have left her. That's how I see it. So you might as well be a father to her. You know how hard it is out here. And I say that because you guys heard me just say I would have left anyway. So if she's there, you might as well step up. At this point, you already stepped up and stayed with the girl. Go all the way with it.
Video of Nicole talking about how she used to like bad men when she was younger. And the truth is, my friends used to think that I did. But if you do not move to boys, you just have to accept what moves to you. So if that is what comes your way, then it's like yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. But when you move to a boy that you like, you get what you like. You don't have to get what comes to you. You get to pick. That is why I'm an advocate for moving to boys. Some boys. These days, these lot on the streets ain't got nothing. Nothing. They'll come home and step over their mother's letters in Christian Dior's. It makes no sense. It don't make no sense.
What she said, she's right. And I'm an advocate for it. You want to pick the father? That's the right way to do it, right? Start talking to men. Definitely the perfect way to do it. That's the only way to do it. Like this lady talking about, oh, pit it on someone else, straight criminal. But it happens. It's been happening for the longest, and it needs to stop happening because it's gotten out of hand.
My favorite thing to be is skinny. And I fear you cannot say that out loud, but it is my favorite thing to be, and it is my favorite fear to not be.
Should being skinny be the most important part of your life? You might recognize me from the video that I made about my ex-boyfriend breaking up with me because he famously thought I was fat as a size 4. And if you do know me, let's address the elephant in the room. There is a little bit of a difference. I have lost around 20 pounds. So let's talk about losing weight and being skinny. Slim Kim's video has been a polarizing one, to say the least. A lot of thoughts the girls are thinking. If I could look into the minds of the general public, weight loss and gain probably takes up a huge percentage of what people think about every day. And there are so many multi-million-dollar industries that capitalize on the insecurities we have around body image, the enhancements that we want to make to our bodies. I'm literally partaking in one right now. For women, we have this unending catalog of unrealistic expectations that are shoved upon us. Magazines, makeup, the women that your ex-boyfriend would follow that you needed to beg him to unfollow really shapes how you view yourself as a woman. Our standard of beauty is upheld by counting calories, injectables, procedures that I could not spell that involve visas, passports, and sometimes a literal battle with mortality. For a man, going to the gym, the amount that you bench press, how dry the unseasoned 10 pounds of chicken that you eat per day is a sign of exceeding power and incredible mental health. Who cares about going to therapy when all that matters is your KD ratio and if you lift more than your brows? Actually, you guys need to go to therapy the most. Let's get you some resources, mama. Men and women both suffer with obsessing over body image, but does being skinny really change your life? Yes. It does. I'm not being treated the way that I was treated 20 pounds ago. I have received so much attention from men and women. People go out of their way to open doors for me. People make eye contact with me more. They compliment me more. They smile at me more. People let me get away with more. Not that I'm out here thieving or anything like that. I just mean the leniency is there. So many people responded to Slim Kim's video talking about how because pretty privilege is a real thing, of course people want to adhere to those standards so they are treated better. And I saw this one video saying that takes kind of just like screaming like, I love being rich. I love being rich. Yeah, no. So should being skinny be the most important part of your life? People are not skinny for many reasons. Some people are not skinny because they don't want to be.
And let's say it together, there's nothing wrong with that. Health complications, being on medication, being disabled, not having the time, taking care of a loved one, mental health issues. When I gained the majority of my weight, it happened because I was so sad. My life was falling apart and I could barely get out of bed. I couldn't brush my teeth, my hair, I couldn't take a shower. So taking care of myself took the back burner. And laying in bed all day, eating bags of chips, and fixating so much on the problems that I had going on in my life became my reality. And being skinny was not going to solve those problems. And even during that period of time, there were days that I loved my body. There were days that I hated my body. And you know, maybe I wasn't favored by a certain gaze, but in what world does it make sense that because of my appearance, I should not be loved, I should not be respected, and I should not be valued as a person? Placing all of your humanity in your outward appearance is not going to make you happy. Going from having an ED to recovering to looking completely different after that has taught me so much about how being skinny is just not the most important thing that you should focus on.
And this is just for me personally. This is all personal to me.
We are so plagued for wanting to always be on the right side of an overgeneralization that sometimes I think people forget that topics like this really just boil down to personal preference. But it's when you start spewing your personal preferences like they're groundbreaking and get so obsessed with something that you literally include it in your username. That's where I think the line needs to be drawn. After going through what I went through, I knew that I needed to prioritize strength. And strength training has completely changed my life. Obviously, weight loss is a side effect of that. But the tasks that I can accomplish, the mental fortitude that I have now from just the discipline of lifting, is nothing that I've ever experienced in my life. And even before, when I was skinny, I was not experiencing life this way. I don't need anyone to help me with physical tasks. I just feel better in my body. And my confidence has skyrocketed, and no version of myself has ever experienced life like this. Is being skinny the most important thing in life? No, because everyone's sense of self-fulfillment is different. There are people who are able to find that strength and confidence in other avenues of their life while also maintaining their health. It's weird to look at someone else's body and minimize their experiences because of your skewed understanding of what should be acceptable. To the people who hear the sentiment, I love being skinny, it's the only thing I think about, and you respond to that statement by saying, oh, she's so real. She's so real. Do you want me to applaud every time you count to 10? Water is wet. We've been fed this our entire lives. It's gotten to the point where women who are of an average size or are thin are seen as the new before photos.
But I just wanted to say it out loud because honestly, it's all I think about. It's all I think about. Okay.
Some of you guys are so obsessed with being skinny. Let's be obsessed with keeping our opinions to ourselves.
No, not good enough, right? I can't let you do that. I think it's great that people are starting to take more accountability because that's what it is. Because you said it yourself. Guys, girls, you get away with more. They look at you with respect. And it needs to go back that way, right? And I agree with you. I'm not saying that people that are not skinny should feel a certain way. But all the time, you see girls getting on this internet, talking like they're still beautiful. Tell the truth. No, you're not. You need to drop some pounds. All right, guys. Other than that, thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you next video.
Answer's coming.